doing? Yeah, I thought it could be fun to just do a little chatty bit because I put on my stories when I was traveling, I put like a little Q&A. And so if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I share a lot more behind the scenes, like everyday story stuff, like day to day there for when I don't always vlog. I thought it could be fun to just read those questions and do a little Q&A here by the pool. But let's get into some questions. So the first one I have here says, how do I stop feeling like I need to meet someone because it's been a year since my last boyfriend? I really get that. I think we are put on these arbitrary timelines, first by society and our friends and family. And even though they may not be putting, sometimes they definitely do put it on us, but even if they're not necessarily putting it on us, I feel like we can unwittingly judge our life, our progress, our perceived success by gauging it against where other people are on their paths. And we are all on such unique journeys. Like I definitely struggle with this because my sister, who's, you know, several years younger than me, got married years ago, and she has our first niece, our first baby in the family. And you know, I'm older than her, and I have an older sister than me, and that's still the first baby. And so I'm sure my older sister just got married last summer, or 2 summers ago during COVID. She had a Star Trek versus Star Wars themed wedding. I don't know if I brought you guys home for that. I don't know if I was vlogging as much at that time. Anyway, it was epic. But yeah, and my other sister's been married. She met her now husband, when they were 15. So we all have such different journeys, whereas my littlest sister Lauren like hasn't really ever had, you know, a serious relationship. My brother just brought his girlfriend home for the first time to our family. So I'm like, even within our family, everyone has such different timelines. My dad and stepmom's story is, you know, unconventional. You know, so I try to remember that like there's different timing for everybody. Don't, I guess, put that pressure on yourself, and instead ask yourself like, how do I want to feel? And if you want to feel like you're looking, you know, you want to have someone to cook dinner with at night or whatever, but if you're content and happy as you are, but you feel like, I guess I better get back out there, but you still feel like you're in a season of really enjoying solitude and healing and, you know, putting yourself first, just honor that. I think that nothing good ever comes out of things being forced, whether that's a person into a relationship or a job or like whatever it might be. I think, you know, nothing good comes out of forcing anything. So I would just focus more on how you feel and how you want to feel. And I feel like that will just naturally align for you. And I would just question your motives. Like, are you doing it because you're afraid you're running out of time? Because you're afraid of what people think? Like, think about the root of that, because the roots there are scarcity, judgment. Like, that's not currencies and frequencies we want to be emitting and living our lives in. So I would just maybe even take, you know, a couple days to kind of meditate on it, think about how you want to feel, and you can even write a list of things you do and don't want. The best way I found to get to the core of what you do want is to first start with what you're unhappy with in your life and what you don't want, and then find what the opposite of that is to you. So that's what I would say about that. Good luck. I know that it can be hard, and for me, I went through horrible breakups back to back, and then decided like something's not working here and I need to take a break. And so I did. And I didn't know how long that break would be, but like timing wise, it felt right to me. And I felt, you know, then right when I was ready, I did meet my current partner, who's now getting us margaritas, and we're in paradise together celebrating our 1 year. And I just never thought that that would be somewhere that I would be, and it feels completely different than I imagined. So I'm just trusting that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be on my journey. And I believe that for you too. Even if you are in a place where it's hard for you to believe, I will hold that space for you. One person asked me what I was reading on the trip, and I actually put up like a question to all of you guys about what is the best book you've read recently, because I was looking for some page turners. So I got my first Kindle, and I'm loving it. It's so nice to have it all like on one little device. I bought the cheapest one they had, and it was like $99 at Target. And it's so like light. I love it. Like, I woke up early this morning, couldn't sleep. So I read in bed for a little bit, and I'm currently reading November 9th or November 9. I think it's by Colleen Hoover. I don't actually know. I think it's by Colleen Hoover. My friend recommended it to me, and it's actually really good so far. So also, if you guys are readers and you've got good vacation reads, comment below so we can all share recommendations with each other and let me know what they are. Okay, next question that we have here is, how do you scam your way into airport lounges? Share the secret. So on the way here, if you guys watch my stories, and when you watch the vlog, we had like 5 hours to kill in the airport, and that's like my worst nightmare in the Phoenix airport, because I hate the Phoenix airport. Sorry if you like the Phoenix airport, if you're from Phoenix. I love Phoenix, but the airport just isn't my favorite vibe. So we saw that they had lounges. So we walked like terminals and terminals away. It just said airport lounge. We're like, do you have to be a member? Like, I don't know, but something in me was like, go find out how we can be comfortable during this 5-hour layover. Cause we had left the house at 3:45 in the morning. Like, we were tired. We needed sustenance. We needed something comfortable. It was like the airport was so rammed. It was like so packed. So for some reason, we just made our way over there and we walked in, and half of it was like American Express, and I don't have an American Express. So anyway, I was like, oh, we don't have one, sorry. And then on the other side, the lady was like, do you have like any platinum card? And we're like, yeah, Sparky had a platinum card of some sort. And so it was like his Apple card or something. So he showed her and she was like, you know what? Everyone's running late today. Like the chef, it's like, we just made like easy meals because like the chef's late today, and like everything's like, she was basically saying like, sorry in advance, it's not gonna be like the best experience as it usually is. But then she literally was like, go. Like she like literally let us in for free. It was $38 per person for like a non-member day pass or something like that. And when we got up there, it was like mimosas. They had like a little food buffet bar. So we get in there, we're there for maybe 45 minutes, an hour maybe. And we get a call. Sparky gets a call on his phone and they're like, hey, we know you're not supposed to leave till like this afternoon, but we have 2 spots left on a flight that's going out in 30 minutes. Do you want to go? And so we literally did that, got in for free, and then we literally just hightailed it out of there. Everyone's wondering when the big Sparky reveal is gonna be.
Tell me.
I don't know, it's been a year, but I feel like it's
at the wedding.
When I'm at the what? You said at the wedding. There might be a wedding. We have not talked about it in too much detail, but we'll fill you guys in later. I think he may have been chatting with, I'm not gonna talk about it, we'll talk about it later. For those of you that don't know, it's just something personal I decided after it not going well, having a partner super entwined, and like just how it can feel really icky and tough. And so I just decided to be a little protective of myself this time, but things are going pretty well. I think I might. You should see his face. Okay, one day you will, one day you will. So anyway, yeah, it was amazing. We just felt so lucky. And then, you guys, this is what I was saying to him, is I'm like, when you have, like, when someone does something kind to you, it puts you in a good mood, and then you want to do something kind to someone else. And so it's really cool to think about how much power we have to be that first chain reaction. So, for example, yesterday, that woman that let us in was so sweet. Then we gave her like $20 just to say thank you so much. And then that like made her day. And we're like, we just don't know, like, then what if she like buys someone a coffee with her? Like, you just don't know how that ripple effect is moving forward. And so we were so happy moving on to our plane that like I sat down, I was in a good mood, I got chatty. We ended up having to sit separate from each other. But everyone around me was buying, we were on Southwest, we were buying drink tickets with those little coupons. And I'm like, you guys are making it rain coupons. Where are you getting all these coupons? And everyone's at like 3 people were like, oh, we'll buy you one, we'll buy you one, we'll buy you one. So everybody was buying me drinks on the plane. All I'm saying is it was a good day. It was a good day. So to wrap up the answer to that question, babe, the question was, how do you scam your way into airport lounges? And I was like, shoot your shot. Like, I was scared to walk in because I was afraid of rejection. And one thing that my therapist has really encouraged in me is seek to disappoint people and to be rejected, because that means you're putting yourself out there. And that, you know, and like she was saying, like for relationships anyway, as far as disappointment goes, that it's not about, like, a quality of relationship is not about never disappointing the other person. It's about how you repair when there is disappointment. That shows the quality and like the strength of the relationship. And then as far as just like being rejected, like put yourself in a position to be rejected regularly. And if not, like, you're not pushing yourself past your limits. Like, if it doesn't feel a little scary, if it didn't go the good way, how much did you really want that thing in the first place? So I say, go into the lounge, say hi, explain like, hey, I'm gonna be here for a few hours, or like whatever reason, you know, genuinely that you have of like wanting to be there, and just say like, listen, truth be told, I don't have a platinum Amex or whatever, like how much is it like for the day pass, or like, you know, is there a way that I can come otherwise? And I just say, just shoot your shot and try in there and just like stroll up. And every morning I do have a practice that I try to remember to say, and that's show me how good it can be, is what I say to like God, the universe, like what powers you believe in. I like to just ask for like little happy gifts along the way and just try to practice gratitude. I'm not perfect in it, but I think I told you guys in my last video that I'm currently in like a text thing with a friend where we send each other 3 gratitudes every morning, and then 10 things we accomplished during the day every night, just to like help us get into the practice. So yeah, that's just a little random little derailing. Okay, the next one is how to wear an oversized shirt. You're my fashion inspo. First of all, that's so sweet. Do you mean just like an oversized button up? Because if that's the case, I do have an oversized button up here, but I don't have a lot of other options. But I can, maybe I'll set that aside. I'm actually gonna start a little note in my phone. So if you guys are watching this video and you want any advice, whether it's like style advice, life advice, I don't even love the word advice, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't think that I know everything by any means, but I can share my experience, and I think that we're all just walking each other home. So I'm gonna start a little YouTube Q&A series here, and I'm gonna write that question down in my notes. And so if you have a question that you want to be added to that after watching this video, any questions that you have or things that you want us to chat about, then comment below and let me know, and I will add it to this, and then I will do a, what should we call it, a subscriber Q&A video, I don't know, like a BFF chat. Anyway, you can also weigh in on what you think I should call it. This question, babe, I got this question. Okay. I wonder if you'll help us answer this. How did you find a man? You read it. Read this one.
How did you find a man that wasn't an absolute douche canoe?
How did you find a man that wasn't an absolute douche canoe?
Who guarantees that she hasn't?
He's saying maybe he is, maybe I am. Honestly, we met on Hinge, and it was awesome, and the quality of the conversation, everything was great, witty banter, on point. You know what I think it was? Is he waited a while to ask me on our first date, which at first I was kind of bummed. Babe, I waited. I was like, are you ever gonna ask me out? Yes. It was like days. Yes. But I felt like it was intentional. Like he wanted to make sure that he thought there was a connection. He wasn't like, there was a lot of times like a guy would just be like, do you want to, like, let's go to drinks at this time. It wasn't even necessarily a question. It was just like, meet me here at this. And it was like before we even had a conversation, which some people like that, fine. Like they don't want to chat forever, but I think there's a balance. I think for me, you asking in advance as sweetly as you did, and then you planned something thoughtful that wasn't over the top. Like when guys like go over the top to do like fancy dates that are like pretentious and like over the top, and you can tell that they're just like trying to whatever. But these were like thoughtful, meaningful, creative, and it was a surprise date. So I didn't even know what it was until we went on it, which was so cute. So I would say, like, in order to, I can't obviously tell you how to find the person. I am working on my podcast, and one of the episodes I really want to do is a book that I read that really helped me. It was called Calling in the One by she's actually from a therapist, and it's essentially like I think it was like 7 weeks, like 49 days of just working through all of your past relationship baggage, getting clear on what you wanted to call in, how you want to feel, a lot of the stuff I talk about here, and it was really eye-opening and helpful for me. So I feel like that helped in combination with like therapy and like learning to identify healthy love from non-healthy love, because I think previously I thought like drama and like there was like what I thought was like healthy and normal was like, now I'll watch like 90 Day Fiance and stuff and I'll be like, oh my god, that dynamic, and I realized like I've probably been a part of that dynamic in the past of, you know, not like a healthy, calm, stable relationship. When you have never been in one or experienced that, it's really hard to reprogram yourself to be attracted to that type of person, to be happy in that type of relationship. So I think it actually starts with a lot of inner work, and if you feel really good about where you've been in the inner work, I feel like it's just a policy of like trusting your gut, learning how to trust yourself and know when to say thank you next and move on, and not give like somebody too many chances with like red flags and stuff. Because to me, the more you, I guess, ignore your body's signals or what your intuition is telling you, and you like make excuses for that person, it's just a time waster, you know, honestly. And I think it's a lot of no's before there's a yes. So it's tough, but I think putting yourself in the position to meet people that are like-minded, whether that's joining like, I don't know, like a volleyball summer, like a whatever weekend volleyball thing, if that's what you're into, or like if you want, imagine the life you want with that person, and then live that life yourself, and you'll find somebody along the way that has those same values, that has those same interests. So I would say live your fullest, most amazing, magical life right now, and trust that the right person's going to show up at the right time. And when you put yourself in those positions, and when you have put yourself in the emotional position to be able to receive that, that's when it'll click. And so if you find that you're wasting your time going out with people that you don't feel good about, your time and energy is so valuable, you would better be suited taking good care of yourself and only saying yes to the opportunities that are right for you. Because every time you say yes to someone that you don't feel good about, you're really saying no to yourself. And I think that's something I had to learn the hard way. Did I buy regular or tall dresses from Abercrombie? I generally buy the tall if they're short dresses, but sometimes I get regular ones too, but I generally get tall if they have tall available. and I always get their chalgy. Okay, someone asked, advice please, how can I get my boyfriend to ask more questions? He's so bad at that. Let's ask a male perspective. Do you think people can be trained to meet needs?
I think a lot of it is like a combination of being in the present moment, like not just waiting for your turn to speak.
Genuinely listening.
Being curious and listening, and you know, just like allow yourself to kind of be genuine, you know, instead of, you know, trying to force anything, whatever feels right. I think when you're with the right person, you're just kind of like naturally curious about them.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes I think a lot of us are just kind of distracted and distracting ourselves, you know.
That's a good point.
But
yeah.
I think when you meet a good person, someone that you have real chemistry with, like it just kind of flows naturally.
Yeah, I feel like it's always been that way with us, very give and take.
Yeah.
So maybe, I think my advice would be, I don't know your situation, how long you've been together, etc., but maybe just get curious about him and start by asking him questions, and then maybe that will give him the opportunity to ask you back or start a conversation. One idea, get genuinely curious about your partner and put yourself in situations where there's great conversation and less distraction. What's yours?
Another way to kickstart it,
yeah,
that game, We're Not Really Strangers.
Oh baby, you're full of good ideas. Yeah, so there's a card game called We're Not Really Strangers. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it's amazing. We love it. We played our first several dates, so I can link that below. We still do play, yeah. And actually, I think that's a great idea. Good idea, honey. So yeah, I think that you should get that game We're Not Really Strangers, and you can do the honest dating edition or relationship edition, and just get it as a surprise and invite your partner to a date night, whether you live together or not, whatever. Like, I don't know what you guys do, but like do something that's authentic to you guys, whether that's, you know, having like wine and making a little charcuterie board and putting on a playlist, lighting a candle, and like asking them to play this game with you is a great way for them to practice asking those questions, and it'll probably open up conversations and bonding and something awesome, and it'll be something you guys choose to replicate. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, your boyfriend ended up saying like, hey, let's have another game night again. That was so fun. So I'm very excited about this for you. Will you keep us posted? Thank you. We have summer shirts for large busts, need to hide bra straps, or have to have great support. Definitely shop Eloquy and shop Fashion to Figure for those two things. They have a lot of like cute crop tops and stuff that are more conducive to like bra straps and more support. So I would definitely try those two options. We went and had a delicious breakfast and got a tour of the new part they're developing, and they're doing like residences here, and so we're considering like being a part of that because we like it here so much, and it's just so beautiful. But we may be coming to Cabo a lot more in the future. That's all I'm gonna say about that. This is a good one. How do you really leave an ex in the past when they keep coming back? I'll start. If I don't know the truth about this one, I'm telling you, this has been, even recently, even since we've been together, I've had a very persistent ex come around, and it's been frustrating. For me, the best way to keep an ex in the past is to decide that, communicate that, and then take action on that. So for me, I had to block that person on social media, on numbers, and then that person would make new phone numbers sometimes, or Google, or like reach out via like an old weird email or WhatsApp. Like there was a million different ways that this person was trying to contact me, and yeah, I decided like, if I really don't want this person to contact me, I actually have some control over that, and I can block that person's number, block that person on social media. I can ask my friends not to talk about that person, and I can limit the access that person has to me. And I think that that is something that is very difficult to do, but if possible, I really think it's really a great idea to do 30 days, 60 days, even 90 days of no contact. Because it's really the only way that you can separate how you feel versus like the memories versus their, you know, trying to manipulate or whatever, especially if it's an ex that you know is not your person and that you know is not good for you, or that you feel like you don't want to bring forward in your life. Then I think it's really important to set those boundaries, and you have to physically set those boundaries sometimes. And so I would recommend, you know, possibly working with a therapist if need be, and just deciding what you will and won't take, because the more opportunities, it's essentially like leaving your door open if you want them to come, you know, bother you. And I think sometimes it's difficult to shut that out, because a part of us sometimes wants them to come back, or to feel like they're hurting as much as we are, or, you know, sometimes it feels like the only person that can comfort you through the situation is that person, right? So I totally understand that, but I think sometimes the only way to leave an ex in the past, if they continue to come back and to not be respectful of your boundaries, you have to enforce them, and sometimes that just means block. Well, somebody said their partner of 5 years just asked to marry me, and I just wanted to share. Woohoo, congrats, that's really exciting. Someone shared a first date story where they said, first date, we had afternoon beers and we took a walk with my dog. My dog managed to poop on my foot. I'm curious if there was another date. Not that that was your fault, I'm just curious how if it ended up being like something funny or something embarrassing. I'm having a hard time learning to love my body. I feel like this is a whole nother video for a whole nother day. We could do like Curvy Girl Summer Survival Guide, and that could include body stuff, because I've been talking about doing that, showing like different products and hacks and stuff like that for sweaty days. But I think that that would be a really nice part of that video, so I'm gonna hold off on that. But thank you for asking that, Hannah. And go-to outfits for bloated tummy days. I just love like a flowy maxi, something just like floaty and gauzy, like kind of like a cool like caftan or muumuu, and it looks super elegant, and it's just like very comfortable. I want to show you guys this one because I don't want to say it out loud. I don't know. Okay, is California a forever home for you? Can you see yourself living anywhere else? We've actually been talking about this a lot. I love California. I love LA. I feel like I'd be open to living in San Diego or Orange County or somewhere else within California, Southern California. Maybe even a little north, but I'm really open to wherever life takes me. We've been talking about possibly visiting other cities, or even being remote, like getting an Airbnb in another city for like a couple weeks or a month at a time, and just kind of seeing what's out there. Because I've only ever lived in Nebraska, where I'm from, in LA, never anywhere else. So I think it could be really cool to experience living somewhere else, and I know that you can get so much more for your money elsewhere, just like the cost of living. So I love my house. My camera ran out of recording room because I talk too much. Just kidding, this card's just overloaded. I don't know where I left off on the living part, but my family and I have talked about all getting like a big piece of land together and building separate houses on it. My dad is very serious. I think everyone's actually serious. We just need to figure it out. So yeah, we've talked about like South Carolina. We've talked about, my brother wants to do Montana. We've talked about Nashville. We've talked about, yeah, a few other areas. So I don't know. If you think there's a fun city that Sparky and I should check out, comment below, let me know, and we'll start looking at Airbnbs. And just, yeah, we really want to just try to see if anything, you know, catches a vibe. But I'm very open to moving, but until I have a reason, or until I feel strongly like in my spirit that it's time to go, I will be in LA. Someone else asked about affordable good skincare. Oh, there's a website that I need to show you guys, and I'm trying to remember what it's called, but you can essentially, I bet if you Google you can find it, like skincare ingredients comparison website or something. It's a site that essentially like can tell you which active ingredients are in brands, so you can compare across the board like a very, very expensive product and then find essentially like a more affordable dupe. Everybody raves about The Ordinary, and I know that they have certain serums and formulations that really do like rival or can compare to very expensive brands, and they're a lot more affordable. So I would recommend The Ordinary, and then I'd recommend Googling about a product comparison site, because that's the best way to figure out which active ingredients you're looking for and how to find those in products that are a little bit less pricey. That's it. Thank you so much for coming along on my journeys and letting me just create videos as I can, when I can, and just being here, showing up for these conversations. And I'm just grateful for you all. I hope that you're having a good week, and I will catch you on the next video. Probably will be a vlog from this trip on Sunday, I would imagine. But yeah, let me know if there's any other videos you guys want me to make for you. I will work on the Summer Girls. I know you guys have been wanting the underwear one. I've been promising it for about a year, so definitely need to do that. And yeah, I've got more exciting travel coming up, more fun things to share. So thanks so much for being here, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. And again, if you have any other questions for the next Q&A video, comment below. If you are newer here and you haven't introduced yourself, comment below. I do more short form content on Instagram and TikTok, as well as like photos and behind the scenes stories and stuff like that, but I'm actually not sharing anything on Instagram or TikTok like the few days that I'm here. So this is the only place I'm showing up, because it's what feels good to me. So honor yourselves, hold space for yourselves, take good care of yourselves, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.